There was a young lady named Florence. Florence was an orphan because her parents was killed, and she had so many enemies that wanted to kill her, and others wanted to marry her forcefully. The family relatives took away all that her family left for her, and she became homeless. She met a lady named Mercy, and Mercy saved her and brought her to her house to stay with her and her in-laws. And the family accepted her and decided to make her their child, since they had no female children. The family only had two sons, one married and the other one is unmarried. And the married one is married to the lady that brought Florence to the house, and his name is Mark. Immediately the younger son of the family saw Florence. He fell deeply in love with her, and he told the members of the family that he would want to marry Florence. But on the other hand, Florence was deeply in love with the married one, which is the husband of the lady that brought her. As the days went by, Florence began to show her true colors. She was manipulative and convenient, constantly trying to drive a wedge between Mercy and her husband Mark. One day, the grandmother of the family overheard Florence talking to her friend on phone on how she wanted to take Mark away from Mercy. She was heartbroken because she accepted Florence as her own child. The grandmother started gathering an evidence against her because she knew fully well that nobody would believe whatsoever she said without having enough evidence. When Florence noticed that the grandmother had evidence against her, because the grandmother was recording her when she was making a call with her friends on how to take Mark away from Mercy, Florence asked the grandmother to hand over the evidence to her, but the grandmother refused. Florence was determined to take away the evidence, so she pushed the grandmother from the staircase, and the woman fell down and injured herself. Florence quickly grabbed her phone and deleted the evidence from her phone before shouting for help. The family members of the grandmother quickly called the doctor, and when the doctor came, he did thorough examinations. He noticed that the grandmother would no longer be able to walk and talk because of the severity of her injury. And Florence became very happy because there was no one again to expose her. So she continued her evil deeds. One day comes, the housemaid of the family saw Florence adding some substances into the food that she wants to serve to Mr. Mark, in order to make him to start having feelings for her and have an intimate relationship with her. When she noticed that someone saw her, she blamed the house help and she started shouting. When the family member came out, Florence said to them that she saw the house help putting something into Mr. Mark's food. Mr. Mark became very angry and he sent the house help out of the house. Florence became very happy that she had won and that there is no other person in the house that could be able to expose her. The family was pleased on how Florence was looking after the members of the family. They decided to let John, which was the younger son of the family, to marry her since he liked her. The members of the family were happy, but she, on the other hand, was very sad because she does not love him back. She had feeling for someone else. On the day of the engagement, she planned with her friends to run away and leave a letter to the members of the family saying that it was Mercy that sent people that kidnapped her, so that Mr. Mike could be able to drive Mercy away from the house and marry her. The family gatekeeper noticed when she ran away and alerted Mercy, but Mercy sent people and they caught her. So the hatred that Florence had for Mercy increased. She became very angry. And later, Florence decided to get engaged to John. While she said to herself that she would only get engaged to John, but she would definitely make sure that Mark marries her. She decided to get engaged so that she could keep on staying in the family and to get attached to Mr. Mark. After the engagement, Florence made dinner for everyone in the family, and she added some sleeping pill to the meal so that all the family members could eat the food and sleep off, in order for her to complete her mission by having intimacy with Mr. Mark. But Mercy did not eat her own food because she realized that Florence is not showing her true self to the family, that she was pretending. When Mercy told the family members about Florence's evil deed, they did not believe what she was saying because Florence appeared to be good to the family. Mr. Mark became very angry to his wife for accusing Florence wrongly. And when Florence noticed that the members of the family do no longer believe what Mercy was saying to them, she became very happy and fulfilled. Later in the night, Florence came to Mercy and told her that she would soon drive her out of her husband's house and marry her husband. That Mercy's husband was the real reason why she came to the family, and that she was even the one that killed her own parents in order for Mercy to have pity on her and bring her to her own house. Unknowingly to Florence, that Mercy was recording all that she was saying to her. When Mercy tried showing the evidence she had against Florence to her husband, he did not pay attention to her because he was very angry with Mercy for blaming the wrong person. Florence overheard Mercy talking about the proof she had to her husband. She quickly sneaked in to Mercy's room and deleted the proof that Mercy had in her phone. And when she deleted the proof she had on Mercy's phone, she then dropped back the phone on the bed where she picked it from. And later in the day, Mr. Mark decided to see the proof which his wife Mercy wanted him to see. And when Mercy brought her phone to show to her husband and to the rest of the family members, she was surprised or not to see the proof on her phone again. She became surprised because she knew that she recorded something. Mercy became heartbroken and pained because she was betrayed by someone she helped. And the members of the family was very unhappy for Mercy, and her husband became very angry with Mercy to the extent that he stopped talking to his wife. And Florence became very happy for the new improvements and for her wins. Mercy invited her friends to the house, and Mercy's friend advised Mercy not to try to expose anything that Florence was doing at the house at the moment, that she should keep calm, that everything will review itself. On the day before the wedding ceremony, Florence added some substances into a drink and gave it to Mr. Mark. And when Mr. Mark drank it, he started feeling dizzy, and Florence assisted him to her own room. And when she tried on having intimacy with him, Mercy entered the room, and Florence became very angry that her mission was not accomplished because she had set a camera to video and accuse him of being in a relationship with her, so that he would be left with no choice than to make her his wife. So Florence slapped Mercy for entering her room without knocking, and Mercy, she bear the slap. She took her husband without uttering a word. On the day of the wedding came, and everyone in the family was happy that the son of the family, which is Mr. John, is getting married to a person that is loved by the whole family. But Florence was very angry because she does not have any feelings for John. With a smile on Mercy's face, she told the congregations that came to the wedding, she told them that they had to watch a particular video before the wedding, and everyone was very happy, including the whole family. And then Mercy went on the stage and on the television, and the television started showing on how Florence added substances into Mr. Mark's drink, and on how she took him to the room to have intimacy with him. The whole people that came to the wedding were surprised. And John, on the other hand, called off the wedding with an angry on his face, while Mr. Mark called the police to arrest Florence. And when the police took Florence, she confessed all her sins.